I'm delighted to have you here with me again. And today I'm going to deal with a subject that may not be easily discussed, even amongst your friends, because we hate to be vulnerable for whatever reason. And I think our society has also tried to train us to always show our strength. Let's go straight into it. The question here is what what is really the thing that has been holding you back? And the image I have here is that of a lion that has seen something you would like to prey on and you feel, but it's within a cage. And that is very vivid as far as I'm concerned. It's not that you don't have the strength, but it is that you are caged. Now, the question now is what's really holding you back? Now, we are specifically looking at the subject of making progress in your relationship. What has been holding you back? What exactly would you say has been holding you back? When it comes to having commitments in your relationship, you want to have a committed relationship. Um, for some people, it's fear that is the major thing. And when we say the fear of what? Being able to do this, being able to do that, being able to do that, the fear of what? Exactly. Now, for some, it is the fear of the things that you don't know, fear of the unknown. And fear has been discovered to be an invisible barrier for young and very energetic young men and women. Fear of making a mistake is one. Fear of losing independence is another. And the fear of repeating the broken marriages that you have already observed, and you don't want to repeat that. Some, you've read stories of how some people started, with the promises of wanting to live for each other, be with one another for as long as life exists. And some of those stories, they end up in as tragedy. Tragedy, sorry. So, like I mentioned, the fear of the unknown for others. So, fear can be uh, the invisible barrier. And for some, it's actually um, something beyond the physical. It's not something you can reason out logically. It's more of a spiritual thing. But whatever it is, you can find help. Now, first and foremost, you need to know what is holding me back. You need to answer that question. Have you done the things you're supposed to do? Have you done your own due diligence? Have you asked the questions? Now, if you don't know what to do, know who to talk to. And one of the things that we are happy to help you do is to help you find the answers. Don't live in the dark. One of the sources of fear is ignorance. Ignorance is like being in the dark place. But when you have the right kind of knowledge, when you are well informed, you have accurate, appropriate knowledge, it brings light. So you know where you're going, you know what you are uh, going to achieve. You can set your goals and go for it with all the help that you can receive. So let's take note. Fear is one of the biggest obstacles that hold Christian singles who are professionals back from stepping into a committed relationship. It's not always obvious, of course, but it disguises itself in different ways. Let's see. One is a fear of making the wrong decision. We mentioned that. What if I choose someone and later realize they weren't the one, quote and unquote? Now, that I can quickly respond by saying, if you are able to confirm that you are the right person for the kind of person you're looking for, that solves more than 90% of the problem. So the other question is, what if I end up in a marriage filled with regrets? Why would that be? Why would that be? Now, this is the thing that many people dream about, they speculate, they have all kinds of fantasy and imagination of how their marriage will succeed, how they will be so sweet, and they themselves look forward to enjoying. But the problem is that many do not prepare. Many just jump into it out of excitement, out of infatuation, love at first sight, name them. That's not what it's supposed to be. That's not how it's supposed to work. I'm speaking from a place of experience. One of the reasons why we hear so many fantastic messages in church, but have very little result in most cases, is that the teachings are good and they are well prepared. Many times they're well prepared, but it's that help you need for someone to be by you. Our pastors and the teachers in the church, they're doing fantastic work, making sure that we have the awareness of what it should be. But I want to observe that many times some people want to experience this thing. And of course, that's what the word of God is for that experience. But when you do not have someone to hold your hand and walk you through the scary places, Bible talks about walking through the valley of the shadow of death. And that can also be a thing in marriage, in relationship, that is supposed to be long and lasting. These thoughts can keep you stuck in analysis, thoughts of what if I make the wrong choice? What if I end up regretting? And what if and what if and what if? And then when it is positive, you're not very sure that you'll achieve that. So the negative questions nag you day in, day out. And so you end up just being paralyzed by your too much of analysis and then you're afraid to move forward. I would say don't panic. There's no need to panic. Now, the other fear is the fear of losing your independence. And this is very serious. Why is this that important? Imagine someone, or this might be you, that you've already built a successful career. You are fulfilling some of your life's dream. And as a single person, you have been able to manage yourself, manage your finances, be able to know what to do per time, and nobody's stopping you. You can fix a trip and travel, and nobody is hindering you. The idea of sharing your space brings the fear. You know, one of our grandchildren will say, "Scary." It's scary, you know. You're now thinking of how will I be able to share my time, share my space, and be discussing decisions with someone else. It can be very intimidating. So you might think, um, this is not something I can do, but I want to assure you it's something you can do. Something you can do. Are there challenges along the way? Of course, like any good thing, any precious thing, there are challenges almost always, but you need to become well enlightened, educated, and well informed, right? Well informed so that you are able to manage that. And you can receive help. You can receive help. Others are. We were where you are now. Some years ago, 34 years ago, we were there. And in our own time, we didn't have it common to find somebody who said, my business is to help you achieve what you want, which is what we call coaching today. Now, in various areas, people receive input at work and all that. They receive coaching, training, mentoring. But this is an area that, yeah, we usually used to put everything into counsel, prayer and counseling. And when the question like these ones we have mentioned, or I have mentioned, and the other one of, will I have to give up all these that I've been enjoying all this while just in the name of bringing somebody into my life? I have a vast, a lot of people who are already in my life, and my life is succeeding. This is not only happening to those who are not churchgoers, it happens to those within the church. I'm specifically addressing the Christian single professional. And think about it. It's not as easy as we are saying. The other fear, before I proceed, now this is where we come in. We have coaching programs that you can pick up, but before you even go there, the introductory training that we have, you can sign up to it and be a part of that. Start from there and then see if booking a personal time is what you will need. But in most cases, some of these questions that you may not even be able to know what to ask yourself and how to get the answer, we've tried to put them, package them, and put into the programs, the trainings that we have already done and uploaded. I'm taking time to do this so that it will be easy. Now, wherever you get to and you want to write down your notes, pause. Thank God for the pause button. Pause it and go back to whatever point you missed. All right. The next fear that easily hold people back is the fear of heartbreak. Some are those who have already experienced it, and some have seen those who have experienced it, and they swear to themselves, they vow they will not experience it. They won't even allow it to happen. But to some extent, because you do not know the path you are going into, you are not talking about friendship that you can care less about it in some cases. You are talking about something you know that you're not just having friendship, you are having a marriage. And there's hardly a place that doesn't know the power of that level of commitment. So the fear of heartbreak. Maybe you've been in a relationship before that didn't work out. And even though you both agreed well in the interest of both of us, but yet it was still painful. It was still heartbreaking. So you want to avoid that. And to avoid that, you are becoming extra cautious. So that in itself holds you back. Or maybe you've seen a friend or a family member go through the painful experience of um, either divorce or a broken relationship. And let me tell you, having a broken relationship that will not allow you to fulfill your purpose is far better than getting married to someone who will be causing you a lot of pain. And be careful because it's not everybody who sings and lift up holy hands and is so lost in the spirit is ready for marriage. That is where you need help, some form of mentoring or marriage coaching. Now, I'm saying this because these are the two spaces that you will be able to get prepared or wherever you can get good marriage education for Christian singles that will lead you into a lasting, happy, lasting marriage. Take advantage of it. Now, the pain that you are trying to avoid may cause you to even build some walls of protection around your heart. And that in itself can make it very difficult to open up to love again. So, is this one of the things that is holding you back? Now, frankly speaking, fear thrives in uncertainty. I did mention that. Now, ignorance puts you in the dark. So, therefore, you need to know the truth. But then, to overcome fear is not by waiting for perfect clarity. That's a caveat there. It's by knowing what you need to know and knowing the steps to take, the action to take. Let me ask you a question. Are you one of those who say, well, I trust God and with prayers, everything will work out? That sounds very good. But hear me, in this world, often, more often than not, God uses people to guide us. If you want to learn it by yourself, it's one of the ways. But there are likely going to be some hard knocks. You go through some hard knocks you didn't need to. If you refuse to take advantage of the people whom or who God has put on your path or who are there to help you make your life less stressful and fulfilling. If you ignore that, well, I I bid you uh, farewell and I salute your courage. Always better to get a guide, mostly human guide. All right. Now, some are held back by perfectionism. Now, we will look at that in another uh, segment of this recording, but I want to emphasize again the place of making yourself available for any form of education. This is an area many people think that, um, I mean, if you're talking about relationship, anybody can do it. Anybody cannot. That's why we're having a lot of people who are trying to recover, and some can't, some are not able to recover from the heartbreaks. So, in the next segment, as one of the things that is holding some people back, we've dealt with some aspect of fear. These may not be all. This may not be all. There are other fears that we might not be able, but see, when you are in, you are able to ask your questions. But be rest assured that good, happy, and lasting marriage, they are still possible. We are not the only ones who have been married for over 3 decades. There are people who are married. Do they go through challenges? Yes, they do. But that's not the issue. What is it you will do in this life? If you have been to any form of educational institution, you discover that there are challenges. There are challenges. And of course, as a professional, in your profession, there are challenges. There are challenges. Going through the training, there are challenges. When you are through with the challenges, I mean, with the training, and then you pick up a job, there are challenges. What is it? Or you want to start your own business, there are challenges. So there's no aspect of life that there are no challenges. But when you are well prepared, well informed, well taught, it makes it a lot easier. It makes it look like it wasn't a problem, it wasn't an issue because you have been prepared. All right, so that's where we bring this to a close today. But I look forward to having you in the next video. Until then, God bless you and bye for now.